Hello and welcome to the latest episode of TechPulse on Economic Times. I am Dhruv Mohan and I'm sitting with a very special guest. I'm sitting with Mr. Kevan Parekh, CFO, Apple. Welcome to India.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing this. Kevin, we want to first start with the kind of performance that App Store has shown in India and the developers as well, the developing community, and how you are also supporting them. If we talk about last year, the App Store ecosystem in India facilitated about 44,000 plus crores in the overall revenue as well in billings. And this is the data that we are aware of as of now. And I'm sure that next year data is also going to be even bigger. What does this indicate to you as a CFO about this growing ecosystem in India?
Yeah, it's a great question. Look, I think behind the numbers, I always look at, even though I'm a CFO, I do think about things behind the numbers. And it really just tells me we've got a vibrant and growing developer community, which we care about a lot. We've got a growing user base in India, which we care deeply about. And one of the reasons I'm here is to kind of help how we can even grow more and reach more users. And so I think that's another thing that I think is a great flywheel for us here. I think the App Store and I think the developer side, the tools we give, and I was really inspired by just how much our tools have been integrated into the different amazing apps we just saw. We saw 4 great examples of that. I think leveraging lots of different features. We have over 250,000 APIs, as you know, on available to developers, and just even seeing them integrate them in that way and bringing their apps to life was great. And I think the most recent ones, especially the Apple Foundation models, I think are having some really big impacts, both on their speed to market, but also even the user experience.
Clearly, the adoption is very high. And you support as well. Now we know India is an extremely price-sensitive market, and at the same time, people do want to experience the Apple ecosystem all put together. When it comes to pricing, do you have any differentiating pricing on both the sides when you're looking at India as a market? If you can give us an insight into that.
Yeah, I think we generally stay consistent. We try to provide the best value to customers, both in our hardware and our services. And so I think we look at India in a very similar way. But I think we do have a range of products, right, for people, different users to reach a different audience. And so we have the entry like the 17e, as you know, and we have obviously the top of the range on the iPhone, like 17 Pro. So we do have a range of products as well. We have the Mac. We're super excited to launch the MacBook Neo, which we think is going to bring the Mac experience to a whole bunch of new users in India, which we're super excited about.
And I wanted to also understand when we say price-sensitive market, we also connect with the fact that it is currently it's mostly dominated by Android users as well. Why do you feel that Apple ecosystem is expecting and more, and also more and more people are joining you as developers? What do you see as a driving force there?
I think there's lots of factors. I thought the SignEasy team had really articulated well. You saw that they were iOS first, actually.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, I think the values were very resonated for them. Privacy, security, I think matters to it matters to us deeply. It matters to their users. It matters to them. So I think there's the value piece that I think matters to people. I think we've got a growing user base. If you think about our global reach, right? We talk about the fact we have more than 2.5 billion active devices now. So that's a pretty large and growing user base. So I think that's important. I think that our global reach and scale. And then I think as well, from a business standpoint, we know that iOS has provides a great monetization opportunity for the developers. So I think that's also an attractive attribute that people care about.
Absolutely. Now, we just met Ruhan, 14-year-old developer, and the kind of app that he has developed for mathematics, it's easier. What do you see? How do you see Apple nurturing the next generation of student developers in India? What kind of support do you see yourself and your team giving to them?
Yeah, well, look, I was just encouraged to see how much, what Ruhan did is amazing and very impressive for his age. Yeah. And I think just that's another example of the types of people we see, I think the MacBook Neo is going to allow a lot of younger people to come in, develop on our platform. And, I think just in general, we provide all those tools, and to see him leveraging them and talking about them as well is great. I think that, we have a developer center, I think we have access to resources from Apple. And I think, we have a growing presence of younger users here, which is exciting.
For sure. Now we know that for Apple, India is a very important market moving forward. But from a revenue standpoint as well, how do you see India growing for you, say in the next 2 to 5 years? If you can give us an insight from your perspective.
Yeah, I don't like making predictions because it's always hard to forecast things. But I would say, look, we're very bullish. We've grown dramatically already. And I feel we're just getting started in India. Honestly, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. I sat with the team and just talking about all the opportunities we have across the board, with our iPhone business continuing to grow and bringing new users, but also our MacBook Neo is opening up a whole set of possibilities. Our partners who resell our products are super excited about that. I think it's just, and then our app ecosystem, I think, is amazing here. The developer community is so vibrant. And I think doing a lot of things as well for the local Indian user base, which I think is amazing. I think the vast majority of the apps here are also adding a lot of value, but we have a lot of Indian developers who are also reaching global audiences as well, which I think is great. So I'm very optimistic about the future here.
For sure. And we are optimistic as well. Well, for all the Apple fans and tech enthusiasts, you have heard it from the man himself. India is a priority. Thank you so much, Kevin.
Thank you so much for having me.